It was supposed to be just another routine flight, with the hum of the engines and the calm chatter of the crew setting the rhythm of the journey. But then, without warning, the cockpit door swung open, and a police dog, sharp-eyed, alert, and, moving faster than anyone expected, burst inside. The dog's presence was jarring, breaking the usual calm in an instant. His fur bristled, ears pricked forward, and his body moved with a tense urgency that instantly grabbed everyone's attention. This was no ordinary passenger or pet. This was a highly trained police dog on a mission. Every eye in the cockpit locked onto him. The pilot's fingers paused over the controls, his jaw tightening. Flight attendants glanced nervously at each other in the cabin, sensing that something serious was unfolding behind closed doors. What had caused the dog to storm into the cockpit like this? What invisible danger had triggered his instinct to rush in, uninvited and with such speed? Inside the cockpit, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. The pilot, a man who had faced turbulent storms and emergency landings countless times, suddenly found himself on edge. His experience told him this was no routine situation. He could feel the tension tightening in his chest as he studied the dog's frantic behavior. The usual calm confidence was replaced with a growing unease. The crew outside the cockpit heard the sudden commotion and whispered anxiously. "What's going on in there?" one of them asked quietly, glancing at the cockpit door. The pilot's voice, when he finally spoke, was low and clipped. "Something's wrong. The dog wouldn't have come in here without reason." The realization spread quickly. This was a warning, a sign that the safety of everyone on board could be at risk. The dog wasn't just running. He was searching, sniffing the air, his whole body poised like a finely tuned instrument reacting to a silent alarm only he could hear. His eyes darted between the crew members, his nostrils flared as he caught a scent invisible to human senses. This was instinct in overdrive, an animal trained to detect danger, now fully alert and signaling a threat that could shatter the peace of the flight. His tail, usually a sign of calm or friendliness, flicked nervously. He barked softly, almost pleadingly at the pilot as if begging him to act, to listen. There was an urgency in the dog's actions that defied explanation, a raw, primal panic that something terrible was about to happen. Right now, the viewer is left on the edge of their seat, heart pounding with unanswered questions. Why did this police dog break protocol and storm into the cockpit? What did he sense that the crew could not? Was there a hidden danger on board? A bomb, an intruder, or something far more sinister? This question hangs heavy in the air, compelling the viewer to stay glued to the story, desperate to learn the shocking discovery that even left the seasoned pilot stunned. The suspense is real and immediate. What happens next could change everything about this flight and everyone on board. The police dog wasn't just running around aimlessly. It was following a scent that only its trained nose could detect. Dogs are incredibly skilled at sensing things humans cannot. Hidden objects, suspicious substances, even danger lurking beneath the surface. This dog had been specially trained to detect threats, so its sudden, intense focus meant it had picked up on something unusual, something potentially dangerous or important hidden in the cockpit. Its body language was clear, tense, alert, and insistent. The dog kept circling a specific corner of the cockpit, pawing at a panel or something hidden beneath the seats. Every sniff and scratch showed the dog's determination to uncover what was concealed there. This wasn't just curiosity. It was a warning signal. At first, the pilot was completely thrown off. A police dog running into the cockpit during a flight? That was unheard of. He blinked in disbelief, wondering if he was seeing things or if this was some kind of bizarre mistake. The pilot's mind raced. He didn't know whether to be annoyed, alarmed, or confused. Why would a police dog have such urgency here? Was there some kind of emergency he wasn't aware of? His confusion quickly turned into concern because the dog's frantic behavior suggested that something serious was happening. He watched the dog closely, trying to understand what it was reacting to. His disbelief was mixed with rising anxiety as the dog focused on one specific spot that seemed ordinary to the untrained eye. When the pilot finally investigated the area the dog kept indicating, He found something unexpected. A hidden device? A secret object? Or perhaps something dangerous? The sight of this discovery hit him like a thunderbolt. The crew who had gathered behind him shared his shock. This wasn't a routine part of the airplane. It was an anomaly that immediately raised red flags. The hidden object could mean anything from a concealed camera, a tracking device, to a bomb. The gravity of the situation sank in, and a tense silence fell over everyone. The dog, sensing the importance of its find, stayed close, alert and watchful. The pilot's heart pounded as he realized the discovery could jeopardize everyone's safety on board. This mysterious find wasn't just a surprise, it was a signal that something dangerous or sinister was at play. The hidden device suggested sabotage, espionage, or even a terror threat, making the atmosphere in the cockpit thick with tension. Everyone felt it. This was no ordinary flight anymore. The police dog's instincts had uncovered something nobody was supposed to find. The pilot and crew knew that the stakes had just risen dramatically. What had seemed like an ordinary day of flying was now shadowed by uncertainty and fear. The story was building toward a critical turning point, with everyone on edge, waiting to see what would happen next. As the police dog darted swiftly toward a corner of the cockpit, it was clear something urgent had captured its attention. The pilot followed closely, his curiosity mixed with rising concern. What could possibly trigger such an intense reaction from a trained police dog right inside the heart of the aircraft? With careful hands, the pilot peeled back a loose panel near the control console, revealing a small, sinister object tucked away in the shadows. The device was unlike anything the pilot had seen before on a routine flight, compact, wrapped with wires, and faintly blinking with a red light. It was an improvised electronic device clearly designed to be hidden but active. At that moment, the realization hit the crew. This wasn't a forgotten piece of equipment or a harmless gadget. It was a potential threat. Whether a tracking device or something more dangerous, its presence here was alarming. The discovery immediately shifted the mood inside the cockpit. What was once a familiar, controlled environment suddenly became a pressure cooker of tension and uncertainty. The pilot glanced at the device again, his mind racing through worst-case scenarios. Could this be a bomb? Or some sort of surveillance tool planted by someone with malicious intent? The implications were staggering. Crew members exchanged worried glances, voices hushed but frantic. The pilot's calm exterior belied the storm of thoughts swirling inside his head. The safety of hundreds of passengers now depended on his ability to handle this unprecedented crisis. The flight, once routine and uneventful, had morphed into a potential disaster waiting to unfold. Communication lines suddenly became lifelines. The pilot knew he had to alert air traffic control discreetly, inform the cabin crew without causing panic, and coordinate with law enforcement officers on board. Every decision was critical, every move potentially life-saving. The discovery had introduced a hidden danger, turning what should have been a normal journey into a high-stakes operation. Amidst the escalating tension, the pilot's focus was unshakable. He had trained for emergencies, but nothing quite prepared him for the surreal situation unfolding now. His hands steadied on the controls, eyes scanning instruments and screens, calculating fuel, altitude, and navigation. At the same time, his mind juggled the threat of the device, potential responses, and contingency plans. The police dog, sensing the gravity, stayed alert and watchful, acting as both guardian and silent partner in this unexpected investigation. Its instincts had led to the discovery, but now the pilot had to take charge and lead the response. Maintaining composure became the pilot's greatest challenge. Outside the cockpit, passengers remained unaware of the looming danger. The pilot had to prevent any sign of alarm spreading to the cabin, ensuring that the crew maintained calm and order. He coordinated with the cabin crew through quick coded messages, preparing them to act if necessary without triggering fear. Meanwhile, the pilot's thoughts raced over options. Should he attempt an immediate emergency landing? Would the device remain stable if the plane encountered turbulence or rapid altitude changes? Could the threat be neutralized mid-flight? Or was it safer to alert ground teams and prepare for an intervention upon landing. Each moment stretched painfully long as the pilot balanced flying the aircraft with managing the crisis. The hidden device had transformed the flight into a battleground of nerves and precision. The gravity of the situation pressed down heavily on the pilot's shoulders. The lives of every passenger, crew member, and himself were intertwined with the decisions he made in these critical minutes. The cockpit, once a place of routine operations and technical mastery, was now a cage of suspense and high stakes. The pilot's training, experience, and calm under pressure were the only shields against chaos. With the police dog's unexpected arrival, the hidden danger had been unveiled in time, but the battle to protect everyone on board was far from over. Every heartbeat echoed the silent tension as the flight continued, suspended between safety and uncertainty. The discovery of the hidden device inside the cockpit transformed a routine flight into a tense race against time. But amidst the chaos, an unlikely partnership began to take shape between the pilot and the police dog, the very same dog whose sharp instincts had uncovered the threat in the first place. The pilot, fully aware of the gravity of the situation, recognized the dog was not just an animal, but a vital part of the emergency response. Together, they formed a team with a singular focus: to prevent disaster and protect every life on board. Though they communicated in different ways, one through commands and training, the other through calm gestures and tone, their connection became their greatest strength. The dog moved confidently through the cockpit, its alert eyes scanning every corner for further threats. Meanwhile, the pilot's hands remained steady on the controls, but his mind was fully engaged in coordinating their next moves. It was clear that the dog's unique abilities, keen senses, unwavering loyalty, and courage were an irreplaceable asset in this desperate situation. Every second counted now. The pilot's experience told him that time was slipping away fast, and with it, the chance to contain the danger. As the plane continued to cruise thousands of feet above the ground, the pressure mounted. Could they disarm the threat before it was too late? The dog's behavior was a constant reminder of the urgency. They both sensed the invisible countdown ticking in the background. Moments of intense suspense unfolded one after the other. The pilot carefully adjusted altitude and speed to stabilize the flight while simultaneously monitoring the mysterious device. Meanwhile, the dog sniffed and pawed near the object, refusing to leave its side. The silent communication between man and animal was palpable. Each relied on the other in ways that went beyond words. The cockpit was a microcosm of tension and focus. The pilot's voice occasionally broke the silence with calm but urgent commands to the crew, instructing them to prepare for an emergency landing, while reassuring passengers through brief announcements designed to keep panic at bay. Inside, the pilot and dog worked in perfect harmony, two very different beings bound by a shared mission. Amidst the life-or-death struggle, a profound emotional connection began to surface between the pilot and the police dog. It wasn't just teamwork born from necessity. It was a deep, unspoken bond built on trust, respect, and mutual reliance. The pilot, despite the enormity of the crisis, found moments to reach out to the dog. Gentle pats, soft words of encouragement. The dog responded with unwavering loyalty, its eyes reflecting a fierce determination to protect. In those brief exchanges, the weight of isolation in the cockpit lifted, replaced by a shared strength that fueled their resolve. This emotional link humanized the high-stakes scenario. The dog was no longer just a trained animal or a piece of equipment. It was a partner, a protector, and a symbol of hope amid uncertainty. The pilot's growing admiration for the dog's bravery inspired him to push beyond his limits, knowing they were in this fight together. The duo's teamwork became a beacon of calm in the storm of danger. Together they tackled each challenge, with precision and courage, confronting the unknown as one unit. The pilot's decisions were informed by the dog's reactions, and the dog's instincts were guided by the pilot's commands. As the plane approached its destination, preparations for an emergency landing were underway. The police dog's presence offered not only practical assistance but also psychological reassurance. In that cockpit, under the crushing weight of potential catastrophe, the bond between man and dog became a powerful force driving them forward. The race against time was far from over. But this partnership had changed the course of events. It was a reminder that in the face of fear and uncertainty, unity and trust can become the greatest weapons against disaster. Just when it seemed the worst had been uncovered, the situation took a sudden and startling turn. The police dog, still, alert and unyielding in the cockpit, began to paw at a seemingly insignificant panel beneath the pilot's seat, an area previously overlooked in the initial frantic search. What the dog uncovered next would shock everyone on board, especially the seasoned pilot who had faced countless emergencies in his career. Hidden behind the panel was not a bomb or a hazardous device as everyone feared, but something far more unexpected and personal, an unconscious person. The pilot's eyes widened in disbelief. This was no ordinary stowaway. It was someone connected to the flight in a way no one had imagined. This discovery instantly shifted the entire narrative of the crisis from a mechanical or terror threat to a deeply human emergency. The pilot's trained mind struggled to process this new information. Confusion mingled with disbelief as he questioned how an unconscious person had ended up concealed in such a precarious spot. Inside the cockpit, where security was supposed to be airtight. The dog's discovery dismantled all assumptions about the threat. For a moment, time seemed to freeze. The pilot exchanged quick, alarmed glances with the crew. Their coordinated efforts to prepare for an emergency now took on a new urgency. Not only did they have to address the unknown danger, but they also had to provide immediate aid to this hidden individual. The tension escalated sharply. Questions swirled in the pilot's mind. Who was this person? How did they get on board unnoticed? Was this a deliberate act or an unfortunate accident? The pilot knew that every second mattered, not just for the safety of the plane, but for the life of the person who could slip away without help. The shock of the discovery went beyond the professional. It pierced the pilot's heart. The helplessness of finding someone unconscious, vulnerable, and trapped in the very space meant to safeguard lives created an intense emotional moment. It humanized the crisis, turning abstract fears into a deeply personal fight for survival. Meanwhile, the police dog's unwavering presence became a source of comfort. Its steady eyes and calm demeanor reassured the pilot and crew amidst the swirling chaos. This moment of emotional intensity captured the audience's attention, drawing them closer to the unfolding drama. The suspense was palpable. Would the pilot and crew manage to stabilize the situation before it spiraled out of control? Could the person be saved, or was tragedy inevitable? The uncertainty hung thick in the air, gripping everyone with breathless anticipation. Just as the pilot reached to check the unconscious person's vitals, a startling realization hit him. The discovery was not the end of the danger but the beginning of something far more complex and threatening. This twist introduced a new layer of suspense. The person was carrying something critical, something that could explain the original alarm and possibly jeopardize the entire flight. The audience, already invested in the drama, was now left hanging on the edge of their seats. The narrative had taken a dramatic turn, turning the simple discovery into a complex puzzle that demanded answers. The pilot's expertise, the dog's instincts, and the crew's quick thinking would all be pushed to their limits in this new phase of the crisis. The story had evolved from a straightforward emergency to a gripping saga of courage, trust, and unexpected revelations. This shocking twist not only heightened suspense but deepened the emotional connection between the characters and the viewers, ensuring they would be hooked until the very last moment. The tense moments inside the cockpit reached a critical peak, but it was the police dog's quick instincts and unwavering focus that ultimately turned the tide. After discovering the unconscious person hidden behind the panel, the dog did not lose its composure. Instead, it began to bark insistently, alerting the crew to the exact location of the hidden threat. This allowed the pilot and flight attendants to act swiftly, calling for emergency medical assistance and preparing to stabilize the passenger. The dog's extraordinary ability to detect the danger and respond without hesitation became the linchpin in preventing what could have turned into a catastrophic event. Its presence was more than just a source of security. It was a lifesaver, The pilot, who had been battling waves of tension and uncertainty, now had a clear path forward thanks to the dog's critical discovery. Without the dog's intervention, the unconscious person might have remained unnoticed, risking further harm to themselves and potentially jeopardizing the safety of the entire flight. The dog's keen senses and bravery had not only uncovered the hidden danger but had done so in the nick of time. As the immediate crisis began to settle, the pilot's emotions shifted from anxiety to profound gratitude. He approached the police dog, who sat calmly but alert, and offered a heartfelt pat on the head. It was a rare moment of vulnerability and acknowledgement from a man whose life depended on split-second decisions and calm under pressure. The pilot, experienced in countless emergency scenarios, confessed to the crew that he had never fully appreciated the vital role a police dog could play in an airborne emergency. The dog's actions not only saved the day but had also earned his unwavering respect and admiration. Their bond, forged in the heat of crisis, became an emotional centerpiece of the story, highlighting the powerful connection between humans and their four-legged partners. Crew members exchanged looks of relief and amazement, all recognizing that teamwork, across species, had made the difference between disaster and safety. The aftermath of the incident brought more than just relief. It offered powerful lessons about teamwork, trust, and the unexpected heroes who often go unrecognized. The pilot shared with the crew and later with the wider world how the police dog's instinctive response complemented human expertise perfectly. This extraordinary episode underscored how trust between humans and animals can create an unbreakable partnership in moments of extreme danger. It also emphasized the importance of staying alert to even the smallest signs when lives are on the line. The dog's behavior, initially puzzling, had been a critical warning that saved the day. As the flight safely landed, the passengers, unaware of the near disaster, were greeted by emergency responders who swiftly cared for the unconscious passenger. The pilot and crew reflected on how close they had come to tragedy, and how teamwork, quick thinking, and the unexpected heroics of a police dog had rewritten the story. This incident became a testament to courage, not just the courage of the pilot and crew, but the quiet bravery of a loyal dog who refused to back down. It reminded everyone that heroes come in many forms, and sometimes the most unlikely team members make the biggest difference. The pilot's words after the event echoed the sentiment felt by all: in the sky every second counts. Today, a dog reminded us that trust and teamwork can turn the tide, even against the most unexpected dangers. This story continues to inspire, teaching us that when humans and animals work together, nothing is impossible. The incredible story of the police dog rushing into the cockpit, uncovering a hidden danger and helping to avert disaster, is more than just an extraordinary event. It's a powerful reminder of the unique bond that exists between humans and trained animals. This bond is built on trust, loyalty, and an unspoken understanding that goes far beyond words. Service animals like police dogs are not just tools or working animals. They are partners, companions, and heroes who dedicate their lives to protecting and supporting us in ways we often take for granted. Their courage and instincts can save lives in moments when every second counts, proving time and again that the connection between man and animal is truly special. This story reminds us to recognize and honor the silent bravery of these animals who face danger head-on, motivated by their training and their bond with humans. It's a relationship that exemplifies teamwork, trust, and mutual respect, values that are essential not only in emergencies but in all aspects of life. Many people may not realize the full extent of what service animals do behind the scenes, whether it's sniffing out threats, guiding the visually impaired, or offering emotional support. Stories like this bring that hidden world to light, encouraging us to appreciate the dedication and sacrifice of these incredible animals. If you've ever encountered a service animal, or if you yourself have a story of a trained animal changing your life or protecting you, remember that these creatures deserve our respect and gratitude. Their work is often risky, demanding, and done without expectation of reward, but the impact they have is immeasurable. So let this story inspire you to pause and appreciate every police dog, guide dog, therapy dog, and service animal working tirelessly to keep us safe and support those in need. Now we want to hear from you. Have you ever had an experience with a service animal that left a lasting impression? Or maybe you have a story about how an animal's instincts helped in a moment of crisis. Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Your experiences could inspire others and deepen the appreciation for these incredible animals. If this story moved you, or made you see service animals in a new light, please like and share it with your friends and family. Spreading awareness helps build a stronger community of respect and support for the work these animals do every day. And don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories that celebrate the unbreakable bond between humans and animals. Stories that remind us why teamwork and trust can change lives.